Hello, and a big welcome back to all of my subscribers. And if you're not a subscriber, what's wrong with you? Today I wanted to talk about algorithmic bias and why it might be that you're not getting those jobs that you're applying for. You see, most recruitment agencies and large companies use a computer to filter out candidates for positions because they get thousands of applicants for a position. Now, these systems are called applicant tracking systems, or ATS. ATS software can save recruiters a lot of time and effort, and it can help them to identify the most qualified people for their open positions. But it can also inadvertently cause discrimination. Now, the reasons behind this aren't really down to the people who wrote the software, nor the people using it, but because of something called algorithmic bias. And while discrimination is illegal in most countries, algorithmic bias isn't, and it isn't even checked for. Now, this is just an example of where technology has moved quicker than legislation. So what is algorithmic bias? Well, algorithmic bias is a type of bias that occurs when an algorithm produces an unfair or unjust outcome for certain groups of people. And this can happen because the algorithm is trained on biased data, or because the algorithm itself was designed in such a way that it is biased. Okay? Now, algorithmic bias can have a significant impact on people's lives. For example, it can lead to people being denied loans or insurance. It can lead to people being unfairly targeted by law enforcement. But in the case of ATS, it can mean discrimination against older workers or people from different nationalities, etc. Now, the primary types of faults in a computer algorithm which cause this type of bias are confirmation bias, stereotyping, and overfitting. Confirmation bias, an algorithm that is trained on a data set of CVs, for example, of predominantly young candidates, may be more likely to flag CVs or resumes from older candidates as irrelevant, even if they're qualified for the job. This is because the algorithm has learned to associate certain keywords and formatting styles with younger candidates, and therefore may not recognize these same clues in the CVs from older candidates. Now, stereotyping, an algorithm that is trained on a data set of CVs from candidates who held a certain type of job, may be more likely to flag up CVs from older candidates, for example, as irrelevant, even if they have the experience in other relevant fields. For example, when the DevOps keyword began to be used in 2008, many older workers whose job titles would have been things like production manager or system team leader or system administrator would have been screened out because they were not using the keyword of DevOps, which is what the algorithm is looking for. Now, there's also overfitting. So an algorithm that is trained too specifically, that's trained on, for example, a data set of CVs from a specific company, is more likely to flag CVs from older candidates, for example, who've not worked at that company as being irrelevant, even if they have the experience at other companies in the same industry or area. Or, for example, the algorithm may reject a younger woman who graduated from a French university as CFO, Chief Financial Officer, because it was trained on the CVs of previous CFOs who were all white males with degrees from Oxford. Now, in this case, it isn't rejecting because of gender or race, but because it's looking for people from a very specific set of universities. But the consequence is actually, gender and racial discrimination. Now, I wrote a simple Python script which kind of shows this in action. So let me show you that now. It's very straightforward, and it doesn't do anything clever. It just shows the bias of versus on a loan for credit scores, the low income area you live in, etc., etc. So it just generates a random applicant with random scores, and let me just show you this. So in this, it's undecided. It doesn't know what to do, and that is mainly because of the age. So although the credit score was okay and the income was all right, because the age was less than 30, it doesn't approve of this. Now another undecided one. But here we get one that's denied. Probably again because of age. Because the credit score is good and the income is good and the neighborhood is good, but the age was very specific, so that is a problem. Now this one, you'll notice the credit score is just about the same as the one above. The income same as the one above, and the age the same, but in a low income neighborhood, so it's automatically denied. Now here, even though they've got a high credit score and their income is okay and their neighborhood is okay, it was still denied. So this one was denied because of a low income neighborhood. Again, no low income neighborhood, etc., etc. So although this script is just you know, something I knocked up as a sort of a demonstration, it can show you that if the algorithm is fit with a stereotype that, you know, if you're from a low income neighborhood you can't afford a loan, even though that may have been a few cases in the past, it can't be hardwired into the computer algorithm, because it just is going to cause people, it's going to discriminate against people. Now, it discriminates on age, certainly for insurances, because, you know, they have what they call actuary tables, where the expectation of life expectancy and things. So insurers use this sort of thing for life insurance. It's the reason that, you know, it's difficult for younger people to get car insurance, etc., etc., because these age-related things are in there. Now, there was some government legislation, I think in the EU or in the UK, about insurances, differences for males and females. The upshot of that was basically the insurance rates for females went up, rather than everybody else is coming down, which is what the claimant wanted, but the insurance companies did it the opposite way, obviously from a money point of view. But anyway, this is the reason that you may not get this loan or the job or all of these sort of things. It's not necessarily you as an applicant. It might be that it is the computer that is being a discriminatory racist, not a person. So it's not necessarily people that are discriminating, certainly for jobs. It's almost always going to be the computer that rejected you. So this actually has become a bit of a war. So the AI is going through, you know, the ATS systems. The AI is using keywords and things to work out whether that you should pass the barrier on to being seen by a human. And people are using AIs to rewrite their CV for every job with every job description so that their CV gets past the AI. So they're using the AI to get past the AI, which is a bit ironic. But remember that even misspelling a word, so if you've misspelt the word DevOps and just put DevOp, you won't get past, because the computers are not as smart as people think. Computers don't do what you want them to do. They only do what you tell them to do. And if you're telling it that it has to be, you know, these specific words in this specific order, then that's what it's going to look for. So even though, for example, you can do, I do Python, I program in Python, but if the AI is looking for Python programming, you get rejected, because even though it's the same thing, it's not the same words and it's not in the same order, and so you're out. So it's all unfair, and it's not legislated, it's not checked. If you like these sort of videos, please like and subscribe, and if you're really annoyed with this, share this with your MP or senator or whatever, and tell them to get with the program and sort out their legislation. All right, that's it from me. Thanks a lot. Bye.